We have another edition of SVG's on the Gridiron series here for you. We head on out to the Midwest, the Windy City, Chicago, to check in with the Chicago Bears. We have the distinct pleasure to be joined by Rommel Paraiso. He's manager of game presentation and production for those Chicago Bears. We're going to take a look inside what the world is like for him and his team right now, trying to create video, especially in Soldier Field, in such a unique NFL season. Rommel, thank you so much for taking some time and for joining us. Looks like you're right there in your control room, so thanks for giving us a fantastic backdrop.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate you being here. Soldier Field, obviously one of the more iconic venues in all of the National Football League, but without fans yet to this point, as we talk here at the end of October. So if you could, since so many of us haven't had the chance to be in there, can you kind of give us a lay of the land of what your video board elements are looking like right now? What kind of content is your team creating, and what is the goal and the focal points of your video deployment with no fans in the stands currently?
Yeah, for the most part, we've done the same that we have in the past, right? We still have our fan prompts that we play for the players, that coincides with the music to get them excited on defense. We still do a lot of highlights, a lot of replays for the coaching staff. And there's certain things that we did have to remove, with the no fan situation. So anything with fans like interacting on the field, obviously. So we kind of had to pivot and do other things. So for example, some of the player features we would do. So instead of kind of being there in front of the player and shooting these interviews, we did something similar like this. We did like a Zoom interview, and we'd ask them like fun questions to kind of get to know the player, and then we'd take that video and kind of surround it with some graphics and intros and still do player features like that. Without the fan interaction, we would just kind of play that. And there's certain things that like the anthem that we can't do live. So just yesterday we pre-produced and shot the anthem on the field, and then we would just play that back and try to make that feel like it's live, right before the game starts. What else? So we have our Boeing military salute, right? So again, that's another thing where we can't have the soldier or in stadiums. So we get videos or pictures, and we kind of still honor that soldier, and we still do things like that. And another good one that we did that we pivoted a little bit is our champion of the game. So in the past, we kind of spotlighted, kids from in the hospitals kind of recovering and things like that. But now we kind of shifted to frontline workers, so people in different industries like the food industry, childcare services, medical, and, so we still do that. And again, we take pictures or video and, surround that with graphics, play that back on the board. So, and what else do we do? So stats we still play, there's no fans, but stats, out of town scores, that kind of stuff we still kind of put out there.
I'm wondering, as you are kind of knee deep in this season now, maybe even neck deep, not even knee deep. I wonder if you could look back a little bit on the off season, kind of take us through what that whole process was like. It was a very, very odd, unique, and at times, I'm sure, stressful off season where all NFL teams couldn't get into their practice facilities. A lot of people were working from home, especially during events like the draft. When you look back on this off season, how did you guys respond when you found out you couldn't be in the offices or whatever, and how did you and your team adapt in its ability to do its job during such a unique time when you couldn't be in environments maybe that you would used to be being in?
Yeah, felt like so long ago, right? But
right.
Just thinking about it, we just kind of had to look at how we used to do things and then figure out, hey, how can we do this with existing technology, and kind of adapt. And, I mentioned that we did the Zoom thing where we kind of interview players and record that way, a lot of pre-production. So our draft party had to be canceled. So we didn't have a draft party in stadium, but, we still did things for the draft. We had our draft show. we used one of those kind of remote video board control room type programs, right? So, we still had our hosts, and then, we still rolled tape and things like that, and did an analysis in the draft. And for us, from our game pres standpoint, we had to do our 5K show. So our 5K we would do in stadium, they'd run and all that. So we pivoted and did it digitally.
Okay.
So we used live stream, and we did that, and that was kind of a challenge. And it was a challenge, but fun. Something that we had to learn. We had our little laptops, and the control room like all in one program, and trying to figure all of that, and it was pretty fun. So what we did was we had our hosts. We told fans that, hey, you could do your 5K, but you could run it in your own time from any place. We had them like submit photos of them running, so we kind of had that kind of social aspect in our show. And it was a lot of fun. It was challenging, but technology and everybody coming together and kind of embracing that kind of really helped us get through all that.
That's very cool. I know that you're kind of in the middle of the thick of things right now, so maybe having time to reflect is not something you've been able to find time in your very busy day for. But when you think back on some of the things that you have done and that the team is currently doing, is there anything that's kind of hit you as maybe surprising? Something that maybe the circumstances forced you to have to do, or content you created, a production or operational method that after you tried it went, oh, wow, that was actually pretty great. We might keep doing that. Is there anything that you think is stuck that maybe you wouldn't have thought you'd be doing a year ago?
Yeah, just kind of talking it through with you. Just again, I mentioned the interviewing the players on Zoom, and honestly, I thought that went really well. I didn't know how that was going to go, so I felt like the players really embraced that, because we did that interview from their home, so they're comfortable, and they seem to have more time. In the past, when we did it at Hallis Hall or Soldier Field or wherever, and we were in person, it was kind of, hey, 5 minutes, kind of in and out, ask them some questions, maybe 15 minutes, and they got to go. They got their things to do. But when, everybody like during this whole situation is they're really flexible. The players are, the staff, everybody, and that really helps. So when we do set up this Zoom meeting and we start asking them questions, they're comfortable. I mean, some of our interviews with the players for the features went on for like 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah, they had fun. They were laughing, and they seemed really comfortable. So I don't know if it's something that, hey, I want to take this and do it all the time moving forward. It's really hard to say that. I mean, if you're asking me, I would love everything to go back, and because that in-person thing and the quality of the shots, obviously, with a better camera. But if I were to take something back and something that we could use moving forward, it would be that, so that maybe there's a player that we need and he can't be in person, and we got to do it remote. It looks great. We're doing it now. The quality is good. And I think it's something that we could still do. Another thing I failed to mention that we do in stadium, just thinking about it now, is we have our season ticket holders on a Zoom room. They can't see what's going on in the stadium, but we do offer that support to the players. So if there's like our fan cam, what we'll do is we'll put up a shot of all our season ticket holders, and they're live and they're cheering our team on, and kind of making things feel normal for the players and the coaches and everybody in stadium, without fans, is really important, because we want to make it feel normal. We don't want it to be all odd, and we still play the music. We have that ambient crowd noise that's playing, but I'm sure that sometimes they're just they need that support, and knowing that fans are not there, but they're from home still cheering them on. And we also did our fam cam, that we call it, where the family and the friends of each player submit video, and we put it all in a compilation video, and we play that to kind of after like a touchdown or a big play.
That's cool.
And if a player does a specific player does like a great play, we'll play their family, while that's going on. And we had a few players kind of look up and saw that hey, that's a cool surprise. seeing their family and their friends kind of cheer them on. So, I think those kind of things are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Really enjoy it. I'm sure the players really appreciate that too. It kind of
Yeah, for sure.
like you said, it's a tough environment to play in. They have to bring some of their own energy. So I'm sure to see that is a nice little shot in the arm. Well, behind all this craziness, yes, there's the technology. Yes, there's the workflows. But it comes down to the adaptability of your people, and it sounds like your staff has been fantastic with that. Please, let's throw out some names. Who are some of the people on your team at the risk? I know I'm putting you out there because God forbid you forget somebody. So you're on the clock here.
Yeah.
Who from your team has stepped up to help get Chicago Bears football back up and running from a video standpoint at Soldier Field?
Yeah, obviously it's a team effort, right? And I really hate to single out individuals, but across all departments in our organization, from the top to the bottom, and everybody here in the stadium, I think everybody's kind of made this happen. It was really hard, right? It's a difficult task because nobody's ever experienced it, and nobody had like previous knowledge of, hey, what do we do now? And everybody adapted. Everybody was flexible. But I'll name a few names, and sorry guys if I forget everybody's name, but, from like Scott Hagel to Fernando and Tanisha Wade, who's my direct boss, who's the director here, and our managers, Caitlin Zickel, Elizabeth, and my guys here who are right behind me now, working, preparing for our game against the Saints on Sunday. Michael Vasquez, Jordan Alexander. There's so many, and Bobby Hack, my guy. And there's just so many, and I feel bad because I'm gonna forget, because there's just a huge list. Dan Barilli and his team with the content we work closely with. So again, it's a team effort, and it's really hard to say this one person or this one group did it. And without everybody's support and everybody's embracing like what's going on, I think it would have been really difficult to do. And I think we all did a good job. And everybody, honestly, everybody across sports, you're watching it on television, you're watching live broadcasts on every sport, and everybody's doing such an amazing job.
It's a resilient bunch. It sounds like you've got a great team that you're working with, Rommel. We really appreciate you joining us and taking the time to share what this experience has been like for you. And of course, we here at SVG wish you guys nothing but the best going forward. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Here's Rommel Paraiso. He's a manager of game presentation and production for the Chicago Bears. You can read more and watch more video interviews of the SVG on the Gridiron series right now. All you got to do is head on over to sportsvideo.org.